Okay, spent the night in Tucson, Arizona. Slowly working my way back home now. So I'm east of Tucson, maybe southeast of Tucson, heading towards Cherokehua National Monument, and just in the distance are all those beautiful hazy mountains. And then off to my right, it's just all flat land. And off to my left is a nice set of mountains also. So those mountains over there travel all along up to this range up ahead. Just working my way back, enjoying every bit of it. Almost every bit of it. Alright, I'll be really lazy, not even going to get out of the vehicle. Cherokehua National Monument. Let's go check it out. Alright, just driving through Cherokehua National Monument. I don't even know if I've gotten to the scenic drive yet or not. I don't know if I've talked about this before or not, but the main difference between a national monument and a national park is that national monuments can be named by presidents by executive order, and national parks have to be created through an act of Congress. So many places started off as national monuments, and then through lobbying and work of senators and congressmen in the states they're located in went on to become national parks. I have to tell you, I've been into some national monuments that... Let me put this window up so we can... I've been into national monuments that, in my opinion, are more spectacular than some national parks. There's some national parks that are just absolutely spectacular, and that's the end of the story. There's no comparison. But some of it, there's different. In my mind, there's different tiers of national parks and stuff. So, sorry, just trying to figure out where I'm going here. All right, let's get back to this after. Still in Cherokehua National Monument, and I'm just loving the rocks here. They're in front of me, they're on both sides of me. You can see them up over here. Through the trees. I don't know what that's like on camera. Come to a place like this, which is in the middle of nowhere, Arizona, and there's like 4 cars in the parking lot, and it's just, it's unlike the national parks, which I love the national parks, don't get me wrong, but they're just so crowded, and then you get something like this where there's hardly anyone here, and it's just really cool. As I climb, here's the view. Looking down into a valley. Really cool. Really cool. This is part of the view from Masai Point. It's got a pretty good periphery here, so there's trees and stuff. I'm going to move to a couple different spots. This is just better than many national parks I've been to. Look at that. You look down through the rocks and there's a valley down below farther on. Just another view from up here on Masai Point. Rocks, rocks everywhere. Illegally stopping in the middle of the road just to show you this. I just thought this looked pretty nice. Just more of the really cool rock formations as we drive through at some point almost a tunnel of bristle cones. Then you see this type of stuff. And for me, there's no such thing as getting too much of this. So when I got to the top, I was talking to a couple that come from Syracuse, New York, and just moved to the area. And they were on bicycles, and I mean they bike up these mountains. Here they are, coming back down, and their legs when they walk just bristle with muscle. They just it's it's something to see. They're just something to see. These people that bike up and down these mountains. Well, I could do the down. It's the up that's my problem. So I thought we'd take a little ride together down Main Street of Douglas, Arizona, which is right on the border of Mexico. Mexico is about a mile behind me. And I don't know, there's no stop signs on any of these corners. I don't know what the deal is. Well, here I know, because there's a stoplight. And it's pretty active downtown. Basically, because there's nothing for a long ways in any direction. Well, I don't know. I don't know what's over the border in Mexico. This is how downtowns used to be. Stores are open for the most part. We'll look at the hotel and the opera house, and then I'll shut it down after that. So here is the Gadsen Hotel. Don't know anything about it. Established in 1907. Never heard of it till I just drove by it. Going the opposite direction. Nice wide streets with diagonal parking. You don't have to worry about parallel parking. Oh, there's a high school. Here's the Opera House, which is like an old movie theater. Didn't really get to see that very well. Border Patrol. And we'll be leaving Arizona soon.
800 feet, turn right onto Arizona 80 East, Pan American Avenue.
And heading towards New Mexico. The end of downtown. Got the nice little balcony to sit up there and watch the people go by. I am driving down this road at 65 miles per hour. And look at how the brush is... Yeah, sure. As soon as I get... But the brush is right up over the road, right over the white line in some places. I've had some big bushes sticking out into the road. And I just came around a corner and avoided my first sagebrush just sitting in the road. So, I don't know. I don't know if you can feel the motion of how bad this road is besides. I'm sure at one point in its life it was nice and smooth, but that's long gone. Beautiful mountains up ahead, surrounded by mountains. All sides. Behind me too, but no way you're going to get that. I keep looking at this brush. There was one like sunflower that was sticking out into the road. Okay, just checking in. I've been eyeing this beautiful big peak through my bug-spattered windshield for a while now. It's I'm in shade, it's got the sun shining on it, it's just pretty cool. It's off in the distance. I've been watching it for like 10 or 15 miles. It's like all flat green bushes, very brown where there's no bush, which I guess is typical anywhere. Mountains over to the side here. I am now in New Mexico, by the way. Back in New Mexico. I think I'll be here for a couple nights. Tomorrow's White Sands National Park. Then I have Guadalupe Mountains, which kind of borders New Mexico, Texas, so I'm not sure what that falls under. Big puffy cloud, just a really nice ride right now. I don't know how often this happens, but enough to put up signs. This is the third set I've seen in a dust storm. Pull off roadway. Turn vehicle off. Feet off brakes. Stay buckled. So, here's what we're looking at on both sides of the road. I guess I could show you this side a little easier. So I can see why dust storms might be an issue. So what we got? Stuff that happens regularly out here that I never think of. Good morning. We are leaving Las Cruces, New Mexico, on our way to White Sands National Park and Guadalupe Mountains National Park. So, San Cruces appears to be kind of in a hole or a valley surrounded by mountains, so we're going to go up through these mountains, evidently, to get to White Sands National Park, which isn't far away at all. So, let's see what it's all about up the road. We are now in White Sands National Park. This park just moved early 2021 from a national monument designation to a national park designation. And you can see the reason for the name White Sands. It's all white sand. I think there's some larger dunes up ahead where if you're younger or in better shape, you can rent a sled at the visitor center and slide down the sand dunes. So we'll go see if anyone is doing that this morning. This is interesting. The pavement ends and you get a chance to drive on the white sand. I think there's gravel underneath, but I don't know. It's not well graded, I'll tell you that. But that's to keep your speed down, I'm sure. Been a few cars along here. Well, a few, I've seen two. There comes three. All white sand. I'm not sure where they go sledding. I guess I passed a boardwalk that I'm going to stop at on the way back. Well, maybe you can go on any dune you want. There's someone pulled over up here. Let's see if they're... These aren't the big dunes I expected though. Still at it. Lots and lots and lots of white sand in all directions. Sometimes there's growth, but up on the dunes. Now this park is pretty good size. There's a lot of white sand here. The dunes aren't as big as the Great Sand Dunes Park in Colorado, where they get pretty high. But this has a lot more territory that it covers, a lot more sand. There's an Air Force base that's near here. I only remember it because at one point it was like the backup landing spot for the space shuttle. They couldn't land it wherever they typically land it, which I think was in Texas, but I'm not sure. Houston area. Then this was their backup spot. Had to have a pretty long runway to put that thing down, so just lots of white sand with, it's a hazy day, but there's some tremendous mountains in the background. I just did a little reading on the place. It's completely surrounded by the White Sands Missile Testing Range. So on days that they're doing missile testing, they shut down the national park and the main road, US Route 70 from Las Cruces out past here, which is like a 40-mile ride to get here. So it's interesting. Just in case missiles go off course, I guess. It is testing after all.